Oh, God.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Oh, God. It's like rotting assholes.
Tasty.
Oh, my God. At least that one didn't last as long as the last one. Fuck me.
Later.
Welcome back to A&J Gaming.
I'm Aaron.
I'm sick.
And we're going to be playing the Silent Hill Downpour.
Which is not making me feel better.
Real nice.
Oh, that's right, I think it's pizza. Let's start the shit show.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, that's all good. That's nice.
Hey.
So this game gets a lot of shit. And I don't think it's the best Silent Hill game ever. But it's okay. I think it's okay.
I mean, it's not Homecoming.
It is not the Homecoming. Which is just fucking awful.
It's so bad your Xbox didn't even want to read it.
It was like, no, please no, not this, not again. Why are you doing this to me? It was enduring its own personal nightmare, Silent Hill style.
Just wouldn't read the disc in protest. Didn't even try.
I was like, fuse.
Fuck you anyway.
I don't want to play Silent Hill Homecoming, and fuck you anyway. Alright. So, like, I don't know, this game's pretty interesting. Like, Murphy's clothing, like, ripples.
It does.
When he walks, and, like, it has, like, really, he has, like, a whole, wet texture model that we'll see in just a minute. And it looks pretty fucking good.
It looks good.
Like, visually, it looks pretty good, except for some texture performance, because it's on Unreal Engine, which Unreal Engine gets a lot of shit anyways, because the textures take so long to load, like, a lot of the time. But, when it does load, everything looks pretty damn good. So,
Detective Stabler is telling you secrets.
You know what? You say that, but he is literally based on Detective Stabler.
Is he really?
That character is directly based on Detective Stabler
looks
from
just like
SVU.
Christopher Maloney.
Because he's literally based on him. That's a true fucking statement.
That's funny as hell.
That's part of the game's development.
That's alright. I do love me some Elliot Stabler.
Who doesn't?
Wrong people.
The last real hero.
Communists.
Communists. I want to go with the knife. I feel strongly about the knife. So, first things first, this is bad. Like, you're down here with fucking Elliot Stabler, and he's like, hey, go into the shower and turn on the showers to fog up the camera. Also, I left you weapons in there. So Murphy's about to do some dirty shit. And it's unclear why. Oh, hey.
See, if you had, like, your head turned or something, all you hear is, I left a present for you, and the showers turn on.
Yeah.
Which could be a multitude of things. And then you look, and Louis Anderson's
I was
involved.
about to say, it's fucking Louis Anderson.
So there could be a lot of shit going down right now.
And it looks a lot like Louis Anderson. Obviously, it's not Louis Anderson, but he looks a lot like him. And when you see this guy, I see a guy who looks like this, who is in prison, what do you immediately think?
Pedophile.
Pedophile. Immediately. And then Murphy says that, and you're like, he did something bad to Murphy. Like, a lot of this is very transparent, and it's supposed to be. Which is something that most Silent Hill games don't do. Silent Hill is not known for its transparency. It's known for mindfucks. After the end of Silent Hill 2, Konami's been desperate to capture the end of Silent Hill 2. Again. And it's like, that's not happening, dude. Slash your shit, bro. I'm gonna slash it up. Damn. Ah! Why would you leave that in there? You wouldn't pull that out? I'm gonna go get another weapon.
I'm pretty sure after that he'd be passed out.
Yeah, you'd be pretty much fucking dead after that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't run right now, so I'm gonna, like, beat your ass, homie.
Because it's dangerous to run on wet surfaces.
I like how he's wearing flip-flops.
They're only thinking of your safety. Well, no, like, a lot of the time with, like, communal showers and stuff, like, I'll do it when I'm at camp and stuff.
Yeah, you're supposed to wear shower shoes.
Yeah.
I did that when I was in the army, but it's so
leave
stupid.
Louis Anderson alone.
I am fucking Louis Anderson's face up. You go to hell and you die.
I am fucking Louis Anderson's face. What?
Well, at this point, he basically has it coming, so...
Now he's coming? Holy God. This is a dirty, dirty game.
Wow, you were fucked up, bro. Jesus. And an interesting touch. You stop losing your shit over this dumb shit right now.
Oh my God.
So then he finishes him off by shivving him.
Why did this start?
I'd like to point out in that scene, if you go back, Murphy has, like, blood splatter on his face and stuff. That is not a pre-designed blood spatter. During the course of the game, when Murphy attacks enemies or takes damage, he will have blood on him randomly. And it carries over into cutscenes. Which is a nice touch. Because if you're, like, screwed up and you're covered in blood and stuff, and then in the cutscene you're totally fine, you're like, what happened? Why is he not hurt? Where did all that blood go? But they carried it through into the cutscene, so it's a nice little touch. And then they got the little Spanish guitar there going on, which is nice. It makes you think Silent Hill 1 and 3. I'm trying to remember what character, who they based a lot of characters on actual actors.
He looks like a mix between Christopher Maloney and Kevin Bacon.
Kind of. But they based him on Elliot Stay, where
yeah.
I believe they actually based, I could be wrong about this, but they based Murphy a lot on Thomas Jane, as far as his mannerisms and stuff go.
Let's ask our good friend Google.
I remember hearing that somewhere. It may not be true, but when somebody says it, you can very clearly see it. Like his personality later in the game, the way he talks and stuff, it makes sense. So. Oh, and there's Mary Elizabeth. Mary Elizabeth is a vocalist for a lot of the soundtracks, and she's actually done voice acting in previous games. And it's also important to note that Akira Yamaoka did not do the soundtrack for this game. The last thing that he did involving Silent Hill was Shattered Memories, and I believe Shattered Memories wasn't sold in Japan. It was never released in Japan. Or maybe it was released in Japan, but it didn't sell very well. And then Homecoming, he did the soundtrack for that as well. So, excuse me, the last thing he did was Homecoming. And that was not released in Japan. I believe that's what it was. Shattered Memories didn't sell well, and then Homecoming wasn't released in Japan. And basically he was like, why am I putting in all this work when it's not getting seen? So Konami could not get him to do this. And so they had Daniel Licht do it, and Daniel Licht does all the music for the show Dexter, and he's also done several movies, and a couple other different video games. And when he does stuff like video games, he clearly bases it on previous installments as far as soundtracks go, which is why in this the music is very similar to older games. Yet it has its own kind of personality. Wow, this lady's crazy.
Just a wee bit. I can't find it.
Wow, that guard and that prisoner are the same person. So, good job on that one, guys.
Wait, what?
That guard with the mustache that's standing right next to Murphy. This prisoner right here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guard to the right of Murphy who is the same guy except without the neck tattoo.
He looks like Porn Stash from Orange is the New Black.
Oh my god, no he does not. Shut up.
He does a little.
No he doesn't. You're just saying that because he has a porn stash.
No, he looks a little like him.
Jeez, lady. Calm down.
Rude.
She's pissed. I like how her badge said jail officer. Like, that's what these guys are. They're jail officers. They're not correctional officers. They're jail officers. Should have paid a little more attention to that, guys.
Yeah. Could be worse.
And so, the only thing that you really know so far is that Murphy's being transferred to a different prison. But you're not sure what prison or why he's going there.
Dun dun dun.
All you know is that it's a pretty long drive. And that somehow he's obviously going to end up in Silent Hill.
Silent Hill!
First of all, stop saying Silent Hill like that. You're making me uncomfortable. Second of all, why is your name Sharon? If you people have not seen a little YouTube channel called Jordan Underneath, I suggest you look him up. His videos are pretty fucking good.
And I apologize to Jordan for the fact that I'm going to be quoting him all night.
A lot. Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, definitely check him out because he has multiple videos. 3 main ones that I can think of off the top of my head about Silent Hill. And did a whole Silent Hill month. And he makes a lot of fair points. They're pretty good. And he doesn't just talk about the games, he also talks about the movies. So if you saw the movies or you're into that kind of thing and you're not sure whether to watch them or not, definitely check out his reviews for those as well. I'll put a link in the description for that.
I think all of my Silent Hill knowledge comes from, not all of it, because I got some from you, but a good chunk of my Silent Hill knowledge actually comes from Jordan.
You can learn a lot from Jordan. Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
And you can learn a lot from Two Best Friends Play, because they've done
This is very true.
a lot of Silent Hill games. And they're both pretty big fans, especially Pat, who knows a lot. But there is so much to cover. It's like, you can never not know enough about Silent Hill.
Ow.
If there were books about lores, they would be like the complete Sherlock Holmes collection or something. It would be like 5 300-page books just about the lore. Because there's a lot.
They're actually really cool to have.
I will randomly just browse the wiki and learn more shit about Silent Hill. Pretty much all the time.
That's because you have a minor obsession with Silent Hill.
I do kind of have an obsession with Silent Hill. And I think it's because, especially 2 and 3, have such artistic value to them. And they are so in-depth. Even like...
My handcuffs randomly fell off.
Yeah, that's one thing that never really made sense in this game. There's a few things that don't make sense in this game. Just... And that's one of them. Like, his handcuffs are just off. So
I mean, they're in front of him on the ground. First things first, I'm a realist. I hate myself.
Yeah, you should. First things first. Let's explore the immediate area. And this is Toluca Lake, so I'm not going anywhere. Second thing second. There should be a radio around here. Like right fucking here somewhere. There's another one. Ah, there it is. There is another one further up ahead. That in case you missed this one, you can get that. But you're gonna wanna. Ooh, let's block. I'm still getting used to the controls on this. That's the look behind you button that they took from Shattered Memories, which is super cool. One of these is my fucking inventory button. It's like up on the... There we go. Oh, it's already on. Okay. So, in case you're not familiar with Silent Hill, the radio is super important because it plays static when enemies are nearby. Oh, shit.
Spooky trees!
Which really helps. Because sometimes you're, like, focused on a puzzle or something, and then all of a sudden, fucking enemy. So, that helps. Also, you may have noticed that there is no button for interacting with the environment. Like climbing over and ducking under and shit like that. Which, really difficult to do, actually. And if you don't do it right, it can bug the game out hardcore. Wow.
That guy's really dead.
That guy's fucking dead as shit. And here's the flashlight. Which is also super important. You can do this shit.
Thanks, bro.
I don't even need it on right now. And then complains. Wow, that guy's fucked. Yeah, it's super hard to make characters dynamically move through stuff, like squeeze through and shit like that. If you don't do it right, the game will bug out. Sometimes it'll crash, but more often than not, you will have your character model fall completely through the fucking world.
Oh!
And just fall through the map. It's pretty weird. Some people claim that this is supposed to be James's canoe from Silent Hill 2. You don't know about that. You haven't had any experience with Silent Hill 2, really.
Nope.
But it makes me hate people when they say that. Because of several different reasons. One, it's never really clear exactly when certain Silent Hill games take place. Like, the first one is implied to take place the year it came out, which I believe is 1998. And that's really it. And even this game does not talk about what year it is. And the only reference to time as a whole... yeah, no shit, dude. The only reference to time as a whole in this game is actually a newspaper article that Murphy can find in a house. And it is from 1998. That's it. There's no other references to time. So it's completely unclear as to what time this actually takes place in. Oh, shit. Okay. Would you cross a huge, stupid chasm like this with just garbage in it like that?
I wouldn't cross a big, stupid chasm like that.
I think Pat said it best. He said, this is Murphy's first big, dumb mistake. Like, you look at this chasm that cannot possibly exist, and Murphy doesn't think anything about it. And then just, like, crosses it. Like, no, that's fine. That's a normal geographical anomaly. Like, no, that's not how nature works, you moron.
That's far enough.
Oh, shit.
Get your ass down on the ground now.
Okay.
Hands where I can see him. Do it.
Take it easy. I'm not going anywhere.
I said, on the ground now.
What are you doing, lady?
The dumb.
What are you doing? That's such a fucking awful idea.
Hence doing the dumb.
I was just looking for help.
And you just happened to lose your cuffs in the process.
My cuffs were off me when I regained consciousness.
They just magically popped off, man.
Jeez, lady.
This is stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
You're gonna get yourself killed.
Shut up. Keep your goddamn hands where I can see them.
I gotta be one of the guys.
Well, shocker, you fucking fell. Oh yeah, I hate like lady cops like that.
Pull me
That they're like, oh, I have to prove that I can hang with the guys. Like,
I
no,
gotta
you
be so
don't.
tough.
Like, no, you don't. Fuck off.
Gotta be so tough.
Also, so a lot of nice. So she just fucking falls to her death anyway.
You lose.
There are a lot of different decisions that happen in Silent Hill like this, and making certain decisions will affect the end of the game. Some of them don't matter, some of them do matter.
Let's say there's like 3 or 4 endings, isn't there?
There's multiple endings. There's like a good plus ending, a good minus ending, a neutral ending, a bad plus ending, a bad minus ending, and a UFO ending, which is always a very strange one. Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3, but 2 especially, has a lot of weird shit going on in it, where the different endings you can get depend on very small nuances. Where it has to do, like, alright, I don't want to hit you with any major spoilers for Silent Hill 2, so, like, in Shattered Memories, if you spend time looking at, like, girly posters, the monsters that you fight in there will become more and more sexualized. They will look more female. The breasts will be larger, the legs will be longer, they'll have much more pronounced curves to them. So stuff like that. And in Silent Hill 2, it actually doesn't change the enemy designs, but it will affect the ending by looking at stuff like that. It's really in-depth. It's super interesting. It may be one of the best video games ever made because of it.
That might